Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where we are rating our regulars, something that we do here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar. My name is Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Jim Fosnot and Darren McCroy. What's up, guys?
How we doing, Steve?
Living the dream.
That was good. That was very smooth. I like that. Good job there.
We
Darren.
rehearsed it 5 times before this happened.
Right.
I still fucked it up.
Yep, you did. But yeah, we've got a fun show today. We like doing these. Obviously, those involved, they like when we talk about these. So we've got our list of 20 that's already prepared. We will pare that down to 10 live on the show today. Before we get to all that, though, Darren, there's something you said you want to talk about. What is that?
So, if it is like a little bit before you usually go to bed and it starts raining, like thunderstorming and pouring, are you
Right.
one that runs off to bed so you can sleep with the sound of rain around you? Or do you stay up longer and sit on the back porch and watch it rain and thunderstorm? Because we've had a lot of night storms lately.
Right.
And my mom, I was over there talking to her, and she was like, "Oh, you can leave now. I'm going to bed. It's going to start raining in 10 minutes, and I want to be in bed and ready to go."
Yeah.
I want to be in bed.
Like, unless it's a torrential storm, it's like, thunder and lightning and tornado warnings. I love to watch that kind of stuff. But in general, it doesn't impact my bedtime in any way, shape, or form.
I'm with Jim. I'm like C, none of the above.
Yeah.
It doesn't impact my bedtime.
Yeah.
Now, I sleep with 4 fans on, so I really, the rain, I can't hear or anything like that, unless it is one of those storms where it's like beating on the window or something like that. Usually the overhang stops it, but if it's a very windy one and it's going crazy, a lot of lightning, then maybe I can hear it. But for the most part, 4 fans will drown out just about anything.
Yeah. I'll know it's storming typically because Barley comes into the room. He leaves his bed and goes and lays down on Heidi's side of the bed on the floor there. He has this little tight spot he curls up in when it's storming out. So I usually know, storm's coming by that. Other than that, it doesn't. I'm weird.
Right.
I love watching like night lightning and sitting out there.
I do love a good storm, but I don't stay up extra to watch it.
Right.
Unless there's, again, like tornado been sighted in my area, then maybe I'm, watch what's going on outside. I've got trees blowing down in the backyard or shit, but other than that, it doesn't affect my decision one way or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a funny thing happen just last night, so I'm dead asleep, and then I hear some sort of like loud noise, like someone is going through stuff or something. It kind of was incorporated in my dream at first, and then I wake up and I was like, did I just hear that? So I say to Amy, or to the warden, I said, what was that? She's like, someone's in the house. And I'm like, okay, or they, so I start heading, I grab, trusty
friend.
And I said, the 2 of us are going to go look for what's going on. By the
way, I picture Steve with the warden front as a human shield.
Well, when I say friend, she's not involved. Believe me, she doesn't get out of bed. So this actually happens quite a bit, but normally I never hear anything. And of course, there's never been anything there. But this I had actually heard, and it did sound like someone is in the house. So I start heading out the bedroom door. She's like, no, they're in the bathroom. I'm like, holy shit. We had a master bedroom, and so I go in there, nobody. And I think, well, the only if there's someone in there, the only place they could be is in the shower. So I do back the curtain, nobody's there. And I thought, well, maybe they're, they're clearly I heard something. They're the floor above us then. And it just sounded like it was coming from there. So I go upstairs, turn on the light. Everything's dark. The place is locked up. So, how could anybody be there? But you got to check because there was clearly noise. Nothing. So I get back to, go back down there. The warden's waiting in bed, cowering, as she does. And I said, nothing's in here. She's like, no, there's something here. I'm like, no, there's nothing. I don't know if we dreamt it or what, or we'll find something maybe in the basement that fell down. I have no idea. So I get up today, getting ready, and going to get my shirt out of the closet. Sure enough, in the master closet, the top shelf, there's like various shelves, there's like a whole system in there. The top shelf collapsed and everything fell off there and onto the floor. But it was not, some of it was like blankets. There was a couple boxes. So it wasn't like an overabundance of noise. You think, well, if it was like glassware, of course you'd wake up. But this wasn't that sort of crash. And so there it all was. So that's what it was. It was this shelf collapse that has been kind of pulling out of the wall. We keep trying to fix it and doing all that. Well, it finally just no more fix on that one. It was done.
I had a weird thing like that happen several years ago. And I was home by myself, and I heard a loud noise in the house.
Right.
Like someone broke a window, kind of like what the hell happened. And I'm a bow hunter, so I have several bows, and I have some of my old bows. Well, one of the strings gave way, and the bow snapped on the shelf downstairs. And so that's a loud noise when you have a compound bow. That string snaps, and then it knocked a bunch of shit off the shelves that it was on a shelf with some other stuff laying there. And it took me a little while to figure out what the hell happened. But yeah, I had my friend with me too.
It's like, something happened. I know what I heard, right? Yeah, it wasn't crazy. So that was the big adventure overnight, and then I'll tell you what, you because it was a definite noise, and you're getting up and you got your friend with you. There's some adrenaline going for sure. Even though ultimately it's a closet shelf falling down, but you're.
So did it take you a minute to fall back asleep?
Fall back asleep, yes, it does. And that's what ends up happening.
Because your adrenaline's pushing, and now I gotta go lay back down.
Yeah. So that's ultimately what I did. I laid back down and eventually fell back asleep. This was like 2 a.m. So I did fall back asleep, and then so that was adventure last night. So it's fun. So. Yes, I'm glad I was home because I don't know what the wife would have fucking done. She gets terrified by this. She always thinks someone's breaking. We've never even had anybody break into a house in our whole neighborhood. I have no idea what. It's just not that sort of place. But she's always worried about that shit. Locks the doors and all this.
I'm out of town. How do you double locks the doors and puts a bar in the back sliding glass door and stuff. And I'll come home I got to open up the sliding glass door. I'm like, what? And then I get down. Like a bar, I didn't even have a bar before I got married. Come on in, let's see how that goes for you.
And then one time I came home and I was getting something off. There's like packages on the porch, so I opened the door and then my hands were kind of full, so I set my keys down on the ledge on the bricks outside, and then I go in and then I forget about it and then lock the door from the inside with the deadbolt and all that, and don't even think about it. Well, and then we don't go anywhere all weekend. My keys stay out there all weekend, and then Monday I'm looking for my keys because that's back when I had a corporate job. I'm looking for my keys. I can't find them. And then I find them out there. And, of course, the wife does. She remembers that to this day. She'll bring that up. I'm like, she's like, oh, you're so lackadaisical. You left your keys outside that one weekend on the ledge. I'm like, that's an example of how nice this place is. No one came in. No one grabbed the keys or anything.
My worst one ever with that was when Heidi and I first started dating. She decided to surprise me at like midnight one night. She's going to come in. I had no idea she's coming to my house. And I met her in my hallway with my friend in front of me, ready to do some damage. Scared the crap out of her. I scared the crap out of me. I'm like, that almost ended.
Oh, that'd be an adrenaline thing for sure. Yeah.
Why surprising people is not always the best option.
That was actually someone in your house. Now, you knew the person. It was meant,
but it's dark. She turned the one light on, but it's still like she's in silhouette behind that. Whatever. I come in the hallway.
You hate to even think about that.
Oh no,
because that could have ended bad in so many ways.
It was so much worse than I'm making it out of here because I don't want to go into it.
Right.
It was bad.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, but I'll tell you what. My friend would be about 45 years old. He's a military guy.
Mine's a little younger. He's 40.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. When that 45-year-old friend cracks his back when you pick it up, anybody who's in that house is going to think twice about what they're doing. I'm telling you, they're going to question what they've elected to do because that is a distinct noise
Sound.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go.
That was down a rabbit hole.
Sure. No idea we're going to take it down that path. Darren, we've got a special thing here. Tell us a little bit about the whiskey. If you could pick that up, proof, that type of thing, what distillery it's from, and then I'll tell you the story because it has its own unique story.
So this is from Art of the Spirits. It's a just over 7.5 years old, and it comes in at 122 proof. Cask strength straight bourbon whiskey, finish in guessing like a bourbon barrel. No,
You glazed over the age. What is the exact age on there?
7.62 years old.
Standard military round. That's why it is
7.62. Yep. What's the name of the pick from Art of the Spirits? On the sticker on the front.
Bill's Private Barrel.
Bill's Private Barrel. So, I'm working the shop one day. Jim is next door, and this guy comes in with a buddy. And two guys, and we wanted our Art of the Spirits. We had a pick in. We had sold it out. It was gone. And I said, unfortunately, it's gone. And he's like, I just drove 50 minutes out of my way. And I'm like, oh, what part of town are you from? He's like, well, I'm from Colorado. I jumped off the highway to come in here, shoot down here from Highway 70 on my way home. And I said, I'm sorry. It's just very popular. I was, incredibly nice. And then he's like, once he saw I was nice, and I had told him I'm the owner, he's like, you're the owner? And I said, yeah. And he's like, well, I got something for you. So he goes out to his car, and his buddy tells me, hey, his wife passed away. He's on this trip. He had been in a bad place, and we're on this trip kind of across the country. We went to look at some land out in North Carolina. He's thinking about buying to, bring his trailer out there and do scuba diving and stuff. And it's just glad, my friend is kind of recovered from that. But then he's like, with this barrel, he goes in and he buys a half barrel of bourbon from our friend Richard Paul, Art of the Spirits. And then what he does with it, he just gives it away.
Oh.
People that mean something to him or he has an interaction with, he takes us in his car and he just gives it away. And then when that's gone, he'll go pick another barrel and just give that away too. So very cool story. It just shows you how whiskey bonds you. And so it was cool. I didn't have any whiskey to give him. That pick is gone, our sample bottle's gone and everything. But what I gave him was I had the award that Richard won, because we got a copy of it as well when it won double gold in the Whiskey Radar Awards. I gave him that award. So he has a collection of Art of the Spirits, and I gave him an award that Richard won. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So neat story for sure. Let's we haven't tried this one. This is our first taste of it. So from our new friend Bill, cheers, gang. Well, that's nice.
Good stuff.
Good job, Bill. So really enjoy that pick, and thank you for the gift. And hopefully you'll get this way again soon. It sounds like if he gets that place, he'll be going back and forth between here. He can jump off Highway 70 again and between Colorado and North Carolina and come by and see us. So that'd be cool.
We could split some barrels with him.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to do it. So yeah, good stuff for sure. All right, what we're going to do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, it's going to be time for Rate the Regulars. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. We're also sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop focuses exclusively on barrel picks. It's the job of owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot to seek out distilleries that are making the best whiskey in the world, taste through their barrels, and select the ones that are off-profile in the best way possible. They have high standards and refuse to allow anything into their store other than something they would be proud to have their name on. This leads to some really awkward conversations with distilleries that can't make it, but they do it for you, their customers. Learn more about what is going on at their St. Louis-based store by heading over to abvbarrelshop.com. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
All right, I'm Neil.
And I'm Melanie.
Together we're the Robinsons, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Everybody, welcome back. This is Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Jim Fosnot and Darren McCroy. We're here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar, and it is time for our favorite segment, Rating the Regulars. These are people that come into the ABV Barrel Shop. We, if you haven't heard one of these shows before, we rank them from 1 to 10, and we do it on who gives us the most joy when they come in here. So we don't tie it to dollars spent or anything like that. It's or how many bottles they bought. It's nothing like we don't want to turn it into that. We want to keep this of, hey, you come into the shop. We're about creating a place that's fun to hang out, and there are some people that come in and they add to that experience and that fun for everyone, and that's what we're trying to do with this. So here's the list. We've got 20 possibilities. We will whittle this down to 10 on the show today. So number one, she's been number one the last 2 months. It's Kristen once again. So Kristen is back on the list, and we'll see what happens. Evan Nieters, number 2. Spencer Rice, number 3. Evan Van Scoik, number 4. The Modicas, or the Monicas. Jesus Christ.
It's the Monicas. Come on,
Monicas.
Steve.
Oh, I got in trouble for that. The Monicas. I knew I'd say it again. I even said on the article, I'll have to apologize for that again, and there you go. Cop Brennan. And we'll talk about why each one of these make it. Cop Brennan's got a great story this time. Sean McQuett, Keith Garvin, Kyle Neely, Clayton Seebacher, Steinkamp. Hey, back in the top 20.
He did make the list.
Dave Probst, Francisco Hudilla. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Francisco. I never heard you say your last name, so hopefully I'm saying that right. Jen Brenner, and if I'm not, just tell me. Believe me, no one has any problem telling me I say their name wrong, so just tell us.
Or anything else.
Yeah, the hatches. So we're doing the combined one on the hatches. We also combined the DeNap and Mitch Abbott. So we got those two all together. Yeah, we got those two together. And then we got the racks. So there's a lot of couples on this one. Then we got Katie Joyce, who came in on a Sunday per your instructions.
Not per my instructions.
She told me on Saturday she came in. You met her out in the parking lot. Jim and I weren't paying attention. He said, "Come back tomorrow."
Yeah, go back and listen to the podcast. She said it on an episode.
All right. Dave Hoyle and Bob Miramonte. That's our top 20. So we have to whittle this down to 10. Does anybody want to just absolutely say someone belongs in that number 1 spot?
I do.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna leapfrog somebody this time.
Okay.
Nothing against Kristen, but boy, Spencer
Spencer
stepped up his game this month. He brought us in street tacos.
Yeah.
Homemade, made 2 different types of chicken, made all the sides. Just in general, he's a fun guy in here, come and talk, but bribery with food helps. And that was some spectacular.
And this was a bribery light month. Like there wasn't like last month there was a lot of bribes. This month we were a little bit light.
You got to kick up your game.
Yeah.
So Spencer, at number 1, what do you think about that?
I'm okay with that.
Let's lock it in. Spencer, you're number 1. First time you've ever hit number 1.
And I have a number 2.
Okay, who's number 2?
So Evan Nieters has been begging to beat Kristen.
Oh yeah,
he has been begging to beat her. I think we can let him beat her this time.
This will be bittersweet because we'll put him down number 2. he does beat Kristen no matter what, but he's not number one. So he it's a genie for the wrong gift.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And you ask for for the gift the right way. He didn't say I want to be number one. He said I want to beat Kristen. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I can't drop Kristen.
I was gonna say she can't go lower than 3.
She really could be. It'd be just very easy to put her number one because she does everything that it takes to be number one. She's funny. She comes in. She's a great customer. She interacts with others when she's here. She comes in sometimes when we're slow and just hangs out. She'll spend extra time just chatting with one of us if we're stuck here by ourselves. I like everything about her. So she's number 3.
Been in 3 times this week, and like all different combinations of us here. And
might see her today.
We might see her today. All right. Anybody want to talk about number 4? Number 4. Anybody stand out in that group?
Run us back through some.
Okay, so let's go back through. Here's who's left here. So we got Evan Van Scoik, the Monicas, Cop Brennan, Sean Bequette, Keith Garvin. He's got a funny story that why he should probably make it this month. Kyle Neely, Clayton Seebacher, Steinkamp, Probst, Francisco, Jen Brenner, the Hatches, DeKnapp and Abbott, the Racks, Katie Joyce, Dave Hoyle, Bob Miramonte. I'd like to put in a plug for the Hatches. They attend basically every event.
Yeah. Yes.
They came here for Ebony Major. There was a big birthday this month for Mike's birthday party. So let's say the Hatches.
And they did bring me peanut butter balls, so
okay,
it is being condoned, and they were delicious.
There was bribery involved.
Yep, the Hatches. Okay, so we got number 4 locked in. Who else do we need to talk about? I mean,
I feel like Evan Van Scoik needs to get thrown in there. He's been in a bunch, and he also hosted our trivia.
That's true.
With the butter beer.
Yep,
Put all that
and he
stuff
brought
in,
the
a lot of
butter
time
beer,
into it, and in
brought the
character,
costume,
and all that stuff there. So
yeah, I think all right. Evan Van Scoik comes in at number 5. All right, looks like we're going to be getting a delivery here in a second, so we'll have to. All right, we're back after taking a quick break to get a FedEx delivery there. So, who else do we think?
For number 6. He came in 5 days in a row.
Yes.
Hey, he set a record, we believe. So I think it should be Cop Brennan.
Cop Brennan.
Kid gave his heart out this month.
Definitely was his personal best, without a doubt. And he's been in a lot. He's been just good at helping us sell stuff too. Like again, helping educate people when they come in. Hey, this is a good one. Get this and all that. I mean, as far as your regulars, you can't expect much better than that. He's going to definitely go in at number 6. All right.
Now things get serious.
Now it gets a little serious. That might be an extra N there. Sorry about that, Brennan. There we go. I fixed it. You can't even tell. All right. Who else? I mean, let me just go through this and throw out some obvious ones just that I think that are standouts. And again, you guys can pick out even if it's someone else. The Modicas certainly are always involved. Sean Bequette always has to be in the mix. Kyle Neely certainly, just being himself. Dave Probst had a big month where he really stepped up and helped us get that event together. Came in several times. I mean, just a good month in general. Joe and Mitch, just going to be funny to put them on the list together. I like that that concept. Katie Joyce made a big splash when she came in and hung out with you.
Yeah.
Dave Hoyle's always fun. Miramonte was in a bunch, though he's been kind of spotty a little bit, I'd say.
He decided to go to a 7-day concert instead of hanging out with us more. So
Keith Garvin's, of course, and he's in every week at least. And he had the big story where some guy posted about Blanton's and he had a meltdown, which is just so funny. And again, it has nothing to do with the show. But man, it's been fun, and we talk about it every time he comes in now. So
yeah,
and he'd love to make
that was a great Thirsty Thursday. There was that story. There was some information about a doll, and that was a great one. So I think Keith deserves the spot for contributing to Thirsty Thursday.
Keith makes it. He's been excited about trying to make it, and finally puts himself over the top with that amazing. And again, there's plenty of Blanton's supposed to attack, but he goes
finally
after.
Snapped.
He finally snapped at a guy who was in the service who bought a bottle on the base for like $48. So it wasn't even an expensive bottle. Right. He had the receipt. It was from the base. To me, that'd be the guy I'd give the pass to. There was no Blanton's anger from me about that post, but man, it got Keith going. So it was funny. All right, we're down to 3 spots left. So now you got to get worried about someone obvious is going to be left off. Is there anyone obvious that we've missed here? Anyone that we think?
I think Kyle got cheated last month.
I do too. I think Kyle, he's been in a bunch, and dude, we always have a good laugh. Usually at his expense.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he always, it's always good to see Kyle. You know, you're never in a bad mood when Kyle leaves.
And not to mention, he risked coming here on his anniversary instead of hanging
That's
out with
true.
his wife.
That's true. He definitely got some heat about that. So okay, we'll definitely go with that. All right, we're down to 2 spots left.
Who are the final contestants?
All right, so here is who's left. I'm going to just give you, not adding anything onto these. Here is who's left. The Modicas, Sean Bequette, Clayton Seebacher, Steinkamp, Probst, Francisco, Jen Brenner, Joe and Mitch, the Racks, Katie Joyce, Dave Hoyle, and Bob Miramonte. That's who's left. All those people for 2 spots.
I would throw my vote towards the Modicas.
The Modicas.
I think the Modicas deserve a vote.
Modicas.
They come in almost every Tuesday night right before they go get dinner and talk about things. Always have great stories. I swear, they got some of the best stories.
The Modicas. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I noticed that they bring in their daughter a lot. She's not part of this list, so she can't be bragging like,
Nope.
hey, I made the list. No. This is strictly, I want to, for the record, to show it's Linda and Matt.
Yep, Linda and Matt.
Yeah, Linda and Matt. Okay. So now we just have 1 spot left. This is when it gets tough.
I think there's an obvious choice on this one.
Okay. Well, who's obvious?
I think it's got to be Joe and Mitch. Especially when you think of what happened this month with Joe. What did Joe do?
Whoa.
He may or may not have showed up a day early for an event.
Early for a class. They show up for a class a day early.
We have had a bunch of joy with that.
Yep.
Every event, we look for them the day before now, and
You're right. That ends up being much easier than I thought. So, yeah. That last one's a tough, but in this case, that's an easy decision. So
Yeah,
That
those
set
two
me
go
off over the edge. Yeah, and as a couple, it makes it fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they go in together. So that's the first time they've made the list, and they made it together.
Yes,
Yep.
Yeah,
as
how
husband
nice
and
is
husband.
So on that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
you can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures, also 5 days a week at the ABV Barrel Shop. I was going to say several. I went with 5.
All right, Jim, how about you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fosnut, on Instagram at FozJim, or 4 or 5, 6 days a week hanging at the ABV Barrel Shop in Arnold, Missouri. Come see us.
Aren't you? And you're not talking about when you work. You're talking about when you're here. You're here 6 days a week.
I guess I am here
You're
6
always
days.
coming on Thursday, which is not a work day. So technically, yes.
Yeah.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got that company website, abvnetwork.com. Someone just liked us.
Thank you, Pam Hoyle, for getting our likes up.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, she didn't make the list.
I know.
Yeah.
You gotta throw a bone in there
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
She's starting to come back in, so maybe next month will be her triumphant return. We'll see. Please give us a 5-star review. That helps new people find the show. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. At a minimum, sign up for email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com. On that note, we'll let you go for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Cheers.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some of the great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro is owned and operated by Russell Creed, who makes stills for the hobby distiller. He offers a one-stop shop for everything the at-home distiller needs. Whether it's a small, experimental stovetop still or something bigger you run outside, he has the still or parts you would have difficulty fabricating yourself if you were trying to build a DIY still project. Additionally, he has resources to assist in creating unique distilled spirits, including heirloom grains, barrels for aging, and recipes. Check out Russell's company online at moonshinestillpro.com. Finally, I have a question for you. Have you ever boxed a bear? Of course not. That'd be silly. Bears really don't follow the rules, so shots in the back of the head, punches to the nuts, and scrums after the bell would be the norm. A better idea would be to enjoy Boxing Bear Whiskey, a brand crafted by Nobleton's Distilling House in Union, Missouri, and sold exclusively at the ABV Barrel Shop in suburban St. Louis. This is a popular offering that sells out quickly, but when you are in town, stop by the ABV Barrel Shop and see if they have it in stock. Better yet, sign up for their email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com and you'll know exactly when it is in stock. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.